This is some bullshit. Who the hell made this ugly ass? I wish it was a manager here because y'all decorate everything else around here cute. Everything else around here cute. But for Juneteenth, you want to just throw something on a freaking cookie cake and expect someone to buy it? That's bullshit. No, what this free at last? Like, free, really? Who the fuck finna buy this dumb? You know what? I'm gonna be in here bright early in the morning to talk to somebody about this because this is unacceptable.
Hello? It's for you. This Juneteenth, master your savings and liberate your wallet with our buy one, get one free at last on all qualifying items. You won't believe you're colonized. So come on down to corporation and put the sleigh back in slavery.
In today's business and financial news, let's discuss how U.S. corporations handled Juneteenth 2025. Why? Because it's the first Juneteenth under the new administration, and we're curious about how corporations are handling the holiday given the recent pullback and elimination of many DEI programs and initiatives.
Well, it's Juneteenth. Here I am at work, so y'all might as well watch us today, right? I'm Delai Diller.
Today is Juneteenth, a federal holiday celebrating the day slaves in Texas were told they were free.
And here we are at work today. Well.
Because corporate America loves to celebrate Juneteenth, but they won't promote, protect, or retain any of their Black employees. This is my first Juneteenth outside of corporate America, and let me tell you, it just feels so different this year. For one, I'm not getting asked to write company messages about Juneteenth just for it to be edited and watered down to death. Not watching leaders pretend to care about equity in a Slack thread while pretty much ignoring the Black experience every day and the workplace harm that people are really experiencing on a daily basis. I'm not being asked to help plan a DEI event while I myself am also experiencing microaggressions in the same week. And I'm definitely not working for a company that celebrates Juneteenth, but they don't have a single Black person on their leadership team or in the company for that matter. This year, I got to decide how I wanted to celebrate Juneteenth, and I chose joy and being surrounded by my people. And honestly, that felt like freedom to me. And this is exactly why I do the work that I do now. Because corporate America loves to celebrate Juneteenth, but they won't promote, protect, or retain any of their Black employees they claim to celebrate. I'm finally glad that I get an opportunity to help companies build inclusion into their company from the very beginning and not as a performative thing that comes around once a year. Because real companies know inclusion and equity is not something that you just do one day out of the year. This is about how you lead, hire, pay, and show up all year long. So happy Juneteenth. Love y'all.
Wait a minute. We don't get Juneteenth off? How? I thought last 2 years we decided that we're gonna get it off. Are you serious? And you believe we don't get Juneteenth off? Isn't that crazy? Guys, it's not that big of a deal. We used to never get the day off. I mean, we're gonna live. It's just Wednesday. Yeah, we decided to not give Juneteenth off. I just feel like, if we gave this day off, we gotta give a bunch of other holidays off throughout the year. It's just too much.
Some of y'all don't know what Juneteenth is, so I'm here to break it down for you. The Emancipation Proclamation was signed by Abe Lincoln all the way back in 1863. However, it wasn't until 1865 that Union soldiers made their way all the way down to Galveston Bay, Texas, and announced that over 250,000 slaves would be freed by decree of the Emancipation Proclamation. And this happened on June 19th, the birth of Juneteenth. So we don't celebrate the day the Emancipation Proclamation was signed as the ending of slavery because it took a long time before all those slaves throughout the country were actually notified. We didn't have social media and telephones and text messages and email to let all the slaves know you're free now. It actually took Union soldiers, many of whom were Black, to march from the North throughout the South and announce to the world that slavery had ended. For all you Black people out there, live it up. Celebrate, barbecue, hang out. Be happy to be Black. Be proud to be Black. Be happy to be free. Or, as free as you feel in this country sometimes. And for all you non-Black people, celebrate. Slavery's over. You know what I'm saying? It's still something to celebrate. Even if your people, your ancestors weren't enslaved Africans. If you're not Black, you can tell a black person Happy Juneteenth. You're black, you can tell a black person Happy Juneteenth. A non-black person can tell another non-black person Happy Juneteenth. Why would we choose to not celebrate the ending of slavery? And it's not critical race theory. We keep bringing up bad things, therefore it's going to make black people hate white people. That's not what we're talking about. We got Labor Day as a federal holiday. Come on now. People will tell you Happy Valentine's Day. Don't even know what Valentine's Day is. People don't celebrate the 4th of July and think that it's going to make us hate Great Britain. No. People don't celebrate Mexican Independence Day to make people hate Spain. We celebrate Thanksgiving every year. And some of y'all still think that the Pilgrims and the Natives was cool. Pick up a book, brother. That was not cool at all. I just came on here to say, don't make it weird. Juneteenth is something worth being celebrated. Some of y'all been celebrating your whole life. Some of y'all didn't even know Juneteenth was a thing. But it's a thing. And, yeah, Happy Juneteenth.
And while you're here, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. We're just a lone channel inching our way to 1,000 subscribers, and we need you.
Anyways, I remember back in 2022, I worked at a retail store as a manager. So I remember I scheduled all of the black staff to be off on June 19th, intentionally, but secretly. I don't think at this time my store manager even know about it, but I don't really care. I don't work there now. So I was proud of myself. I was able to pull off that. But not only that June 19th, I did for the Cinco Mayo too.
Beep, beep, beep. Juneteenth alert, Juneteenth alert. Come on down to Rusty's Cars on Juneteenth, where we are discounting all black cars. I'm talking black pickup trucks, black SUVs, black electric cars, and another discount if the interior is black, because it's what's on the inside that counts, my brothers. Listen, if it's black, it's less. Well, it's gonna cost you less if it's black, but like if you are black, you're not less. I gotta rewrite the script.
We got some news coming out of Washington that Donald Trump has said there's too many non-working holidays. Now, today is June 19th, and it should be noted that the president did not celebrate Juneteenth, and the White House didn't even recognize it. And when asked during a press conference if they were going to, KK Caroline basically dodged the question. So I think we know exactly what holiday he's talking about. There's too many of. It's Juneteenth. Why? Well, it's the same president who signed an executive order to cancel DEI. DEI is the modern way that white people say the N-word. If you haven't noticed, the N-word just evolved over the years from N-word to thug to welfare queen to drug dealer to CRT, and the modern usage of it's DEI. Also, the same president who tried to close the African American History Museum in D.C., the same president who took the accomplishments of black service members out of military history after swearing to God he supports the troops. So it comes as a surprise to no one that the same president elected by white supremacists who represents white supremacy ideology now wants to cancel Juneteenth. But of course, he's too chicken shit to just say that out loud. Instead, he starts this little propaganda machine that there's too many non-working federal holidays. Hey, Nepo baby, you've never worked a day in your life. You've been handed everything to you from the day of your birth. Every single business you've ever started has been an absolute and utter failure. And more than 75% of this country hates you. So that being said, Juneteenth is going to be celebrated whether or not the white supremacist in charge wants to. So,
What is Juneteenth, Mike?
It's when we gave you guys, instead of 3 fifths, we gave you 5 fifths. That's an honest answer. I don't even know. Or is it when MLK was born? Maybe first KFC opened? I don't know. When one of you guys first learned how to swim? Shut the camera off before I cancel myself, please.
The story of Juneteenth starts on June 19, 1865, 2.5 years after the Emancipation Act ended slavery in Confederate states. Major General Gordon Granger and Union soldiers delivered the news that slavery had ended to 250,000 people who were still enslaved in Texas. Black Americans celebrated. Freedom brought huge progress in the years after the war. Literacy rates jumped 70% in the subsequent 40 years, and 22 Black Americans were elected to federal government. But when Reconstruction ended in 1877, attempts to build communities were met with violent attempts to restore the power imbalance of the pre-Civil Rights years. Throughout the 1900s, Juneteenth celebrations continued, highlighting advancements within the family and community and honoring ancestors. In 2016, Opal Lee, an activist in Fort Worth, Texas, set out to make Juneteenth an official holiday by walking from her home in Texas to Washington, D.C. She reached Washington by walking 2.5 miles a day, representing the number of years it took for news of emancipation to reach Texas. In 2021, Lee's campaign was successful. President Biden signed legislation making Juneteenth a federal holiday. Today, Juneteenth is an opportunity to celebrate Black Americans' contribution to American culture and honor the continuing quest for freedom, justice, and equality.
So how did you spend Juneteenth this year? Do you feel that the business or corporation that you work for appropriately recognized the holiday? Let us know in the comments. Thanks for listening. See you soon.
Okay, I need opinions and advice from my Black friends, okay? So today was my twin boy's 17th birthday, and we went to an escape room, and then we went out to dinner. And while we were out at dinner having pizza, this Black man, husband and wife, walked in, and they were wearing their like June 19th t-shirts on. And I said, when they walked in, I was like, oh, happy June 19th. And my teenagers cringed. They were like kicking me under the table, and they were like, Mom, shut up. Like, I'm not. They're acting like I'm saying something offensive or bad, and I was just like, oh, look, they're advertising that they're celebrating, and so I'm going to celebrate with them or recognize it. And is that a bad thing? Is that an awkward thing? Is that a weird thing? Do I not have street cred? I don't know if that's the word I'm looking for, but do I not have permission as a white person to tell Black people happy June 19th? Am I not supposed to say happy? What am I supposed to say? Because I want to recognize them and celebrate them. Okay, so now my boyfriend is like, you can't say Black people. You should say African American. But what if they're not African American? What if they're Jamaican American? What if they're Cuban American? And is it not...
See, now it's a whole nother ball of wax.
That's a whole nother ball of wax. I want to be able to celebrate their history. And if it's important to them, I want to recognize that and it be important to me too. Help a sister out. Help a white girl out.